Your morning tea just became a casualty of war. Across India, millions of households are staring at empty LPG cylinders, unable to cook their next meal. What started as a distant conflict between the US and Iran has reached into Indian kitchens, creating the worst cooking gas crisis in decades. It's been 3 weeks since the Strait of Hormuz closed to commercial shipping, a narrow choke point barely 21 miles wide, where roughly 90% of India's LPG imports transit, accounting for about 60% of domestic consumption. When war erupted on February 28, 2026, that critical supply line was effectively severed overnight. The numbers are stark. A standard 14.2 kilogram cylinder that once cost around 1,800 rupees now fetches roughly 4,000 rupees on the black market, more than 4 times the official rate. Queues stretch for days in parts of the country as families and businesses scramble for scarce cylinders. This is not a distant supply hiccup. It is a disruption that has slipped into the most routine act of daily life, cooking a meal. That's more than 4 times the official rate. For families like Sheila Kumari's in Delhi, who earns just 6,000 rupees a month as a domestic helper, a single cylinder now costs nearly her entire salary. The human cost is immediate and brutal. Across the country, businesses are reeling. Nearly 10,000 restaurants in Tamil Nadu alone face closure this week, according to industry leaders, because roughly 90% of Indian kitchens rely on LPG. Sagar Dariani, president of the National Restaurant Association of India, has warned this is a crisis that will devastate livelihoods within days. Politically and economically, the shock is reverberating. India imports close to 2/3 of its LPG needs, and when 90% of those shipments funnel through a single maritime corridor, geopolitical shocks cascade quickly into domestic scarcity. Hoarding and diversion to unofficial channels have pushed prices even higher, widening the gap between official supply and what people can actually access. The health and social fallout is severe. With LPG unaffordable or unavailable, many families are reverting to wood, coal, or crop waste for cooking, fuels that produce toxic smoke and raise the risk of respiratory illness, especially for women and children who spend hours near kitchen fires. Urban air quality, already fragile, is worsening as millions switch to dirtier fuels. Migrant workers are disproportionately hurt. Many lack documentation for subsidized cylinders and depend on informal markets, where hoarding drives prices up. In Surat, rising black market rates, reported as high as 500 rupees per kilogram, have prompted an exodus of textile workers, threatening production lines and local economies. Faced with these pressures, the government invoked emergency powers on March 10th, activating a 4-tier priority system that places domestic households, PNG and CNG, and essential services ahead of most commercial customers, a move meant to staunch immediate suffering while longer-term fixes are sought. Indian refineries have been ordered to maximize LPG output, diverting other hydrocarbon streams to boost production by an estimated 25 to 40%. Bharat Petroleum and other state refiners are running round-the-clock shifts to ramp supply. At sea, Operation Sankalp put the Indian Navy on standby to escort merchant tankers through dangerous waters after insurers suspended coverage for the region. Visuals of naval vessels under professional maritime lighting and ships cutting through blue waters underscore that security response. The first concrete relief arrived on March 16th to 17, when 2 Indian-flagged tankers, Nanda Devi and Shivalik, escorted through the strait, delivered roughly 92,700 metric tons of LPG to Indian ports. Port workers and officials watched with relief, but the scale is limited. Rural areas are still facing waits of up to 45 days, while urban centers see black market spikes and empty shelves. Enforcement has intensified. Authorities seized hundreds of cylinders across states like Chhattisgarh to curb hoarding. Yet these actions only partially ease immediate pain. This crisis is more than an energy shortage. It exposes how global conflict translates into local hunger and health risks. The immediate question is when supplies normalize. The deeper question is whether India will accelerate policies for energy diversification, stronger strategic reserves, and protections for its most vulnerable, so kitchens stopped becoming collateral in distant wars.